Hi everyone, it's me, Gary. Today we're going to talk about personality disorders. But before we go on with the discussion, I would like to invite everyone to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the subscribe button and the bell button so that you'll be notified with my latest videos. Personality disorders. So when we talk about personality, this is the individual differences of people about their feelings, their expressions, and their behavior. So, iba-iba ang personality ng tao. Right? So, that's how they carry themselves. But when we talk about personality disorders, there's something wrong with their personality. Typically, personality disorders, the personality disturbances that come together to form a chronic pattern of behavior and inner experience that deviates from cultural norms. So, chronic pattern, we're talking about a behavior that they have been doing for quite some time. So, matagal na ginagawa or noon-noon pa na nagiging pattern na nga. And it became part of their inner experience. Talagang yun ang paniniwala nila. And it would create deviation from the cultural norms. Hindi siya tanggap, hindi siya naayon kung anong meron sa kultura, kung ano yung norms na meron sa kultura. Usually, they may have issues with their self-esteem. Pwedeng masyadong mataas ang tingin sa sarili, pwede rin masyadong mababa ang tingin sa sarili. Dito ngayon papasok yung reduced capacity to form and maintain good connection. So, nagkakaroon ng problema with their relationship or how they interact with people around them. Right? Hindi lang sa romantic partners, but overall in general, to all the people that they interact with, pwedeng kasama sa trabaho, sa pamilya, sa school, or sa community nila in general. The DSM-5 organizes personality disorders into 3 groups. Yan yung tinatawag po natin clusters based on shared key features. So, meron po silang kanya-kanya mga features. Kaya po nung DSM-5, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual 5, they had personality disorders in 2 clusters. Okay? Dati po, hindi pa ho naka-cluster yan. Magkakasama ho yung 10. Ayun po, naka-cluster na po siya. So, nandito po yung tinatag nating cluster A. Ano po bang meron? These personality disorders are characterized by odd or eccentric behavior. People with cluster A personality disorders tend to experience major disruptions in the relationship because their behavior may be perceived to be peculiar, suspicious, or detached. Right? So, ano-ano po ba yung mga kasama dyan sa cluster A niyan? Andyan po yung tinatawag po nating schizotypal personality disorder. These individuals also are likely to behave in ways that are far from norm or typically interpersonal attraction. So, malayong-malayo siya sa norms, sa anong acceptable sa kanilang environment. They may have odd beliefs about the world, about around them, and be highly resistant to any kind of interpersonal relationship or race from others. Kaya po, kadalasan, pagka may schizotypal ang isang individual, schizotypal personality disorder, you may ask, does this person be living in a world of their own? Or do they have proper care? Naalagaan po ba sila? At bakit parang may sarili silang form of environment? Diba? They would have tendency that they have odd beliefs, right? Minsan, umaabot pa po to the extent that they think that they have supernatural powers. So, pwedeng magkaroon sila ng paniniwala since they have odd beliefs that they have superpowers, that they have magical or mystical capabilities na kung titignan naman natin is beyond reality. So, that is your schizotypal personality disorder. Okay? Now, meron din tayong tinatawag na schizoid personality disorder. When we say schizoid personality disorder, these individuals are unlikely to find themselves in any type of close relationship with. There is a sense of preoccupation with their own internal world, and they are unlikely to show much emotional expression or interpersonal interactions at all. Walang emotions, walang feelings. Parang wala lang. Yeah? They are having a sense of preoccupation with their internal worlds, but they're unlikely to show any form of emotional expression. Dito po pumapasok parang the person seems to be unaware of the world or the people around them. Diba? So parang wala siyang sense of emotion with anyone. Diba? Hindi niya pinapakita kung masaya siya o hindi niya pinapakita kung nalulungkot ba siya or any form of emotion at all. Okay? And because of that, ang tendency ng mga tao lumalayo kasi hindi nila alam kung ano ang kailangan nilang way para makitungo with someone with schizoid personality disorder. Next, sa cluster A natin, yung tinatawag natin paranoid personality disorder. Iba po yung paranoid lang, iba yung may paranoid personality disorder, at meron po tayong schizophrenic na paranoid. Okay? These individuals aren't just careful about home security, they are obsessed with the suspicion that others are intentionally trying to do them harm. Okay? Feeling nila, laging may pinaplano or may masamang binabalak sa kanila ang ibang tao at may binabalak na saktan sila or may gawing masama sa kanila. That's one trait. This individual may behave quite oddly and their day-to-day lives can become increasingly constrained by their fears. Because of that belief that they have, yung kanilang odd behavior, nagiging constrained sila, increasingly constrained dahil takot sila with everything. Kasi nga, tulad ng sinabi natin kanina, takot siya na may binabalak sa kanya yung mga tao sa paligid niya kahit wala naman. They may confide their fears to you conspiratorially, and while you might be flattered by being cast as a good guy, kasi isa yung nagsabi ng mga fear nila o yung mga takot nila na may gagawin sa kanila, may balak sa kanila, sa feeling mo you're the good guy. Their fears may be delusions and they may need more than simple empathy or support. Baka lumapit sa yan at hindi lang empathy or support ang kailangan yan. Baka may kailangan yan tulong, may probably about their mental issue or baka isa ka sa mga ways or keys para masolve naman yung kanilang concerns. So these people would seem to unable to trust anyone or really truly believe that even their family members or friends are out to get them. Something they believe na may gagawin sa kanila. So, medyo kakaiba nga. So, kung titignan niyo po ang mga taong ito, they may seem to be normal compared with others, but they deal with their fear differently. Okay? This person may seem to unable to trust anyone, and they would always truly believe, naniniwala talaga sila that even their families and their friends are out to get them. Now, let's talk about cluster B. The cluster B personality disorders are characterized by dramatic or erratic behavior. Ito may kasama ng eksena, medyo may kasama ng drama, at saka yung tinatawag nating erring behavior. People who have a personality disorder from this cluster would tend to either experience very intense emotion or engage in extremely impulsive, theatrical, promiscuous, or law-breaking behavior. So, para magkaroon sila ng ma-recognize or mapansin, their emotion would be very, very intense to the point na nagiging extremely impulsive. Yung behavior na hindi na sila nag-iisip, gumagawa na lang sila. They would tend to be theatrical. Sabi nga natin kanina, medyo dramatic, promiscuous, and sometimes law-breaking. Ano yung mga kasama sa cluster B natin? Nandyan yung tinatawag na narcissistic personality disorder, yung mga narcissist. The true narcissist is much different than the individual who just happen to have high self-esteem. Merong tao na mataas ang tingin sa sarili, high self-esteem, at nandyan din ang mga narcissist. Narcissists are motivated by the desire to use a heavy hand to control a person's response to them, but having a high sense of self-esteem doesn't typically reflect a need to control others, but rather self-satisfaction. Okay? Sa narcissistic personality disorder, hindi nila type or hindi nila intention na mag-control ng ibang tao. They would have high sense of self-esteem because it's for self-satisfaction. Doon sila nakakakuha ng satisfaction sa sarili nila. Not by being able to control other people, but rather by having people recognize that they have this kind of self-esteem. Ito yung kaya nilang, or ito yung meron sila, ito yung nagawa nila, at ang type nila ay yung hinahangaan sila ng mga tao. You would be asking yourself, does this person wear you down because of their need for adoration? Mapapagod ka na kasi gusto nila sila lagi yung napapansin, sila yung bida. And once that they do things, kahit sabihin mong tumulong sila sa ibang tao, yung tulong nila, ang gusto nilang kapalit niya is they would be able to be recognized na nakatulong. Kailangan meron silang complete approval, complete admiration from those people that they were able to interact with. Kaya ang typical na mga may narcissistic, they fall in love with themselves and they would be telling about themselves to the highest sense. Yung kwentong simple, pero talagang i-elevate niya yan so that their self-esteem would be able to reflect on the admiration of other people. Narcissists are incapable of much empathy and typically they would use their limited people skills in ways that serve them in their bid for attention and praise. So, typically, ang gusto ng mga narcissistic, talagang sila yung nakakakuha ng attention, sila yung may praise. Pag hindi mo na ginawa yan or hindi sila nakatanggap, they would exert much more effort. Gagawa yun ng paraan so that they will be able to gain attention and praise. Okay? Walang control sa ibang tao, but rather, self-satisfaction lang for them to be able to have attention and praise. Yan ang narcissistic personality disorder. Meron din tayong tinatawag sa cluster B natin, yung tinatawag na borderline personality disorder. These individuals are considered borderline due to the lack of clear ego boundaries that they possess. Okay? So, both extremities ang behavior. Nandun sila sa borderline of good and bad. Nandun sila sa borderline ng sane at insane. Nandun siya sa borderline ng normal at saka non-normal. In between, kaya borderline. They may become overly invested in a relationship and respond to any hint of trouble between themselves and a partner in a manner out of proportion to the situation. Okay? Invested sa relationship. But they would respond to any hint, kahit na maliliit na mga bagay, they would be able to come out that there is something wrong with that. They have instability that would extend to emotional responses, personal relationship, and tendencies towards suicidal behavior. Typically, yung mga may borderline personality disorder, they would always try to feel that the world becomes uncontrollable if they're angry. Kaya yung kanilang behavior nag-shift ng medyo malayo. Similar siya sa bipolar disorder. But, the bipolar disorder is more of a mental illness. Si borderline kasi personality disorder. Merong mga times they're afraid to disagree or correct. Hindi nila alam kung mag-disagree ba sila or mag-agree. Kasi nga, borderline yung personality. Nag-iba-iba ng shifts. Okay? They love you more than anyone else until you miss a step and you're cast into the role of enemy before you know it. Ganon kadaling mag-shift ang kanilang emotion. Then you have the antisocial personality disorder. Individuals with this disorder exhibit behavior that reflect a disregard for feelings or personhood of others. Okay, so antisocial. They have the skill necessary to present as potentially attractive partners, but are only using the facade to con their prey into trusting them enough that they can take advantage. So that's antisocial. Talagang they would present themselves, potentially they are very attractive or kung ano man, pero they would never want order or they would never want to have an environment or a society that is good and peaceful. Laging nandun siya sa antisocial. Right? They may have to manifest behavior that seems to be unusually disinterested in intimacy. This person seems to lack the sense of morality or honesty. This person seems not to care about how her action affects others. Yan yung mga kasamang pwede mong i-reflect dyan. They don't have care to other people if they're affected or not by their behavior. They don't have care about other people, whether you're hurt or there's something that would affect you. They don't care. Wala silang pakialam kung makakasakit sila o hindi. But at some point, they would want to take advantage of the situation or the person. There is little empathy among this group, and their primary motivation is typically taking what they want. That's the bottom line of antisocial personality. They would want to get everything that they want. Then we have the histrionic personality disorder. Histrionic personality disorder sa cluster B is desperate to get attention in whatever way they must. Ang hirap dito kasi sometimes when you're with a person who is histrionic, you might find it tiring to have a constantly validating idea for this person. Kasi gusto niya, napapansin siya lagi eh. So, laging nababalidate. Attention-seeking behavior would get into the way of a one-on-one communication. So, dapat imbis na nagkakausap tayo ng maayos, ang nagiging tendency is that gusto niya na makakuha ng attention. And there's also a consideration that the need for attention that this person has could never be satisfied by one person. Gusto niya maraming nagkakaroon ng nagbibigay ng attention sa kanya. Whether it's physical appearance or storytelling or supersized emotional display, this person does what they can to make sure everyone knows what they are feeling or needing at that moment in time. So, pwedeng the way they wear their clothes, revealing, daring, talagang makakakuha ng pansin. The way they tell their stories, right? O kaya yung kanilang supersized emotional displays. Kung iiyak, talagang bonggang-bongga ang iyak niya. Di ba? Just to be able to let everyone know what they are feeling or needing at that moment. Right? Ganyan ang mga histrionic personality disorder under cluster B. Okay? Sa cluster C naman, personality disorders are characterized by anxiety. And dito may kasama ng anxiety. People with personality disorders in this cluster would tend to experience pervasive anxiety and or fearfulness. Ano yung mga yan? Obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. Reminder ko, iba po ang obsessive-compulsive behavior, iba po ang obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, at iba rin po ang obsessive-compulsive disorder. But for this topic, we're going to be talking about obsessive-compulsive personality disorder o yung tinatawag natin OCPD. An individual with OCPD may have a difficult time functioning in daily life due to an obsessive preoccupation with rules and orderliness. So, yun ang sinusunod niya. Rules, orderliness. If the person's endearing habits of making sure that their pet is fed, the bedroom door is locked, utilizing and hearing squirming effects. Pag hindi niya narinig yung squirms, hindi siya kontento dyan. Symptoms of more or less, yung mga ganito is debilitating. The persons need to cut his, let's say, food or yung kanyang steak na kinakain or yung food na kinakain niya into exactly 7 pieces. You would giggle, you would be laughing at it. Right? Kasi gagawin yan every meal. Kada kakain yan, yung kinakain niyang steak o yung kinakain niyang meat, kailangan 7 slices ang ginagawa niya. Those compulsive behavior would reflect on this. And it may be getting into the way of their everyday life. It would keep the person from enjoying the normal unpredictability and spontaneity of living. Yan yung tinatawag natin obsessive-compulsive personality disorder. That's the way they promote or show their personality towards people. May kasamang obsessive preoccupation. Now, you also have avoidant personality disorders. Individuals with this disorder have a very difficult time forming relationship, including with their families, peers, or potential romantic partners. Their fear of being rejected is so strong that they protect themselves by simply avoiding involvement or interaction of any depth with others. So completely hindi sila nakikipag-interact. They would try to avoid or stay away with people. You would think pagka nakasama mo ang isang taong may avoidant personality disorder, is these people seem to find reason? Gumagawa na lang ba siya ng dahilan para iwasan ako? Does this person have any significant relationship in their life? Kasi parang walang friends eh. Parang walang family or even romantic partners. Why? Because they seem to just avoid anyone. And of course, the last one, you have the dependent personality disorder. The person who suffers from dependent personality disorder is overly needy, excessively clingy, and needs reassurance from every significant others in order for them to make decisions about their own lives. Ang tao na may dependent personality disorder would make you feel that you are needed, or they would overwhelm you with this neediness. Paparamdam siya talagang kailangan ka niya. But here's the catch. The more they would make you feel that they need you, the tendency is that they are trying to push you away. Bakit they would try to push you away? Kasi sobrang dependent sa inyo. Parang wala na siyang nagawang sarili niya, and everything is associated and related with you. This individual can wear down the good nature of the kind soul, and in primary relationships, their dependence may lead to behaviors that drive away their partners. Talagang itutulak ka nila because they would become very dependent to you, pati yung sarili mong pamumuhay, nagkakaroon na ng impact yung behavior nila. That's why ang tendency, parang napapalayo ka kasi sobrang dependent sa'yo. Or because they have this dependent personality disorder. Diagnosis. How do we diagnose people with personality disorders? Typically, according to the DSM-5, a person must meet the following criteria to be diagnosed with a personality disorder: chronic and pervasive patterns of behavior that affect social functioning, work, school, and close relationship. So, nagkakaroon sila ng chronic pattern na pag-usapan po natin kanina. And because of this, it affects how they function sa trabaho, sa school, and even with family members na apektuhan na po. Symptoms that affect two or more of the following four areas. So, apektado ang thoughts, ang emotions, ang interpersonal functioning, at saka yung impulse control. If those four areas are affected, then it's part of the symptom of personality disorder. Onset of patterns of behavior that can be traced back to adolescence or early adulthood. So, maaga pa lang po, nandun na ho yung pattern. Namamanifest na po, napapansin na po, na bata pa lang po sila, or even in their adolescence or early adulthood, nandun na po yung behavior manifestations that we were talking about kanina dun sa mga personality disorder. Then, last one, you have the patterns of behavior that cannot be explained by any other mental disorders, substance use, or medical condition. Okay? Eliminated po, wala pong medical condition yan, wala pong substance use, or hindi po kasama sa mga mental disorders. So, bago po i-conclude that it is a personality disorder, wala po dapat siyang mental disorder, hindi po gumagamit ng kahit na anong substance, at wala pong mga medical condition. Now, let's talk about treatment. In general, the goal of personality disorder treatment would include the following. Right? So, for the treatment of personality disorder, we have to consider the following. Number one, reducing subjective distress and symptoms such as anxiety and depression. So, kailangan pababain ang anxiety niya and depression, and much probably, maapektuhan din yung kanilang personality that would improve and enhance what they have para mabawasan or not to be able to eliminate personality disorder. Helping people to understand the aspect of their problem that are internal to themselves. Malaking bagay po pag pwede natin matulungan ang ibang mga tao na may personality disorder for them to understand. Remember, if a person has personality disorder, ang number one dyan is hindi sila aware na meron. Hindi rin nila matanggap o hindi nila tatanggapin na meron sila. Because typically, they would just try to avoid or try to ignore that they have that. Kaya kailangan maipaliwanag sa kanila that the nature of their problem is more internal. Also, changing maladaptive and socially undesirable behavior, including recklessness, social isolation, lack of assertiveness, and temper outbursts. Pwede magkaroon ng iba't ibang method of therapy and counseling para po ma-address itong mga maladaptive and socially undesirable behaviors. And last but not the least, modifying problematic personality traits like dependency, distrust, arrogance, and manipulativeness. Okay, so i-modify po natin yan. Again, we have different kinds of psychotherapeutic interventions and counseling techniques that may address the different maladaptive behavior of personality disorders. The key thing here is there should be proper diagnosis and there should be proper assessment as to what the disorder is. Kasi baka mamaya may ibang symptom or may ibang mga illnesses na nakasama dyan. So, katulad nga na sinabi natin kanina, other factors should be eliminated first before we can conclude that these are personality disorders. Right? So, pag may kakilala po tayo na nagmamanifest ng mga ganung behavior, do not conclude. Okay? Let them have their proper assessment and diagnosis first before we will be able to address the concerns that they're having. And there you have it, different things that you have to know about personality disorders. Again, I would like to invite everyone to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please click on the subscribe button together with the bell button. And please do like and share the videos that I have prepared for everyone. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Alam na dis.